My name is John McClaren. I am a chiropractic neurologist. I started practice in 2002 in La Vista, Nebraska. It's suburban Omaha. I started out as a functional neurology. I also blend general chiropractic and some myofascial release and things like that into my practice. I got my diplomate in 2005 through the ACNB. I got my fellowship in traumatic brain injury and rehabilitation through the ACFN in 2016. That's called the FABIR. FABBIR, big letters. And then I got my master's in clinical neuroscience. I was in the leather helmet cohort that Professor Carrick set up with Carrick College. And I got that 2 years ago and some change now. So that's me. I've been in practice. I started out on my own. I've been on my own ever since. I've made, the good and the bad and the ugly of it, and things are going pretty darn well right now. So, I'm in my third location with this practice, but yeah, it's only because we've grown out of the first two locations that we've moved. So really happy with where we're at and where things are going for sure. I see general chiropractic type cases, the pain type of aspects or things like that would come in. I get a lot of, again, the traumatic brain injury, definitely with the FABIR is where my focus has been. That's where my focus was in my master's program as well. And then I've kind of happened into long COVID or those types of cases as well. So, a variety of those, some athletes that have, neuromuscular things they want us to work with. So those would be kind of the top of the things that we see. Again, in functional neurology, you get things like movement disorders, and a lot of it is, you get things where you've got an established practice and, somebody comes in and they say, I've got a friend or I've got a family member and they've just got something weird and people can't figure it out. What do you think? What do you think? Would you like to take a look? Heck yes, I'd like to take a look and we'll see if we can throw some things their way. So that's kind of how my practice has blossomed. The great thing about I wrote this, I think, on my synopsis for NeurdSolutions as well. The great thing is everybody that you've got for a mentor is super credentialed, super well educated, super well learned. So I would always say I can tout my credentials and again, it's like I'm touting my credentials against everybody else that has similar credentials or as good a credentials or maybe even better credentials than I have. And you can't do badly. You really can't choose a bad mentor with NeurdSolutions. So why would you choose me over, Michael Pendleton or somebody else like that? Boy, again, you can't go wrong. I bring a heck of a passion to this type of work. I bring an ability to be able to kind of go through the current and contemporary research, which is where the master's degree really caused some strength for me to come in. And I see a wide variety of cases I've made, and I actually for NeurdSolutions or for Focus Builder, one of the things I brought when we did a seminar at my practice was I talked about the cases. Hey, I didn't do so well with some of this stuff. I'm not afraid to talk about my failures or things I've done wrong as a way to kind of strengthen somebody else to keep them from doing some of those things as well. I bring some humility to this as well, even though I do have this super highly credentialed and educated background. I have broken the eggs to make the omelet, so to speak. So if I can take somebody who is maybe struggling in some things and keep them from doing that, as well as growing and learning those concepts through the process. One of the things with people that I have already done some mentorship work for that they liked about me that they maybe haven't gotten in other places, not necessarily here, but from other, education programs or things like that, we learn things from what is my clinical application? What is the treatment that I want to use with this person? I get them to understand, I think, and like I said, from what I've been told, why am I applying this treatment to that condition? What is the neurology behind it? Why would I do X instead of Y? I've got this great tool in my practice. What are some cases I don't want to use that tool with, or what do I want to do before I get somebody ready for that? Those are things I think I've done a pretty good job of helping people understand. I'm stubborn in that I'm passionate and I want people to, whether it's a patient, or if it's somebody that I'm mentoring, I want them to succeed, maybe even almost more than they want to sometimes. And I am going to dig in. If I commit, it's like I'm in. We're going to get this thing figured out. We're going to get this thing sussed out. We're going to figure out what the neurology is behind it, or whatever the concept is, or maybe I'm just struggling to attract a certain type of patient that I want. We're going to figure it out. The way that I have always practiced is my attitude is provide the best service that you can for somebody, and it's never been for me about, financial gain or any of those kind of things. I think if you provide the best service that you can for whatever comes into your door, you're going to find you're going to get a lot more of things coming in your door, because people, they know that. They know when you're genuine, they know when you're authentic. And as a mentor, that's the same attitude that I have. I'm going to provide, authentic, full service types of things, and I think people will find that they can be drawn to that, and find that when they kind of take that same approach, it'll be more successful than if they hadn't. Depending on how old my body feels, I used to be a competitive power lifter. I still do lift as much as I can. My son started training, so he and I often train together. You'll find us at the gym. The nice thing is now at the clinic I've got a full service gym in my clinic. So it's like I never leave work, right? It's like I'm at work, I'm mentoring, I'm lifting, all these kind of things. Then, my wife sees me at night and it's like, oh, I'm so glad you're finally home. My wife is a kickboxing instructor, so she's also super active. We've kind of married our workout lives together. I do a little bit of that. She comes and trains with us a little bit. She's got a full-time career as well that is outside of the healthcare industry. So it's kind of nice. We've got a little diversity with that. We have 2 kids. My daughter is just about to graduate and move on to college. My son is a freshman. Again, lifting, baseball. The good thing is my kids, thanks to my wife, are way more better looking and athletic and talented than I am. So it's just fun to watch them flourish.